It was a Friday afternoon. Rhonda and I were at an open house for one of our high school students who had recently graduated. In the middle of the celebration, my phone rang. It was a mom of one of my college students. Chris, her daughter, had been in a four-wheeler accident. It was serious. She had to be life-flighted to a hospital, and the mom was on her way and wanted me to know and asked if I could be at the hospital too. Hospital is about a 2-hour drive. I let Rhonda know and told her she needed to find a ride home, and I let the high school graduate and his family also know. And I got in my truck and I just drove about 2 hours. And I sat in the waiting room with the mom and the dad as they just waited for news for their daughter. It was a serious injury. Chris survived. A couple weeks later, we were at summer camp together. Chris was still healing, but she was doing the best she could to fulfill her role as camp nurse. It was the first week of camp, and the director came to me late one night, got me out of my cabin and said, "You got to take Chris into town. Her wound is infected, it's bad, she's got a fever." We loaded her into the car and I drove over an hour to get back to the hospital, and Chris and I were there all night. The doctor was removing infection and stitched her back up, and we had to go to the pharmacy and get her some antibiotics, and then we went back to camp, and the campers were up and headed to breakfast by the time we rolled back in. She went back to bed and slept the day away just trying to heal, and I took a nap. I had to teach a morning session, so I didn't get much of a nap. And I tell you that story because people have needs, and ministry just happens. It's not a respecter of high school open house graduation parties. It's not a respecter of 2-hour drive times to a hospital. When your people are in need, you just have to be there. She wasn't the first or the last time that I drove hours for a hospital visit. Hours because an accident happened in a neighboring town. Hours because somebody was having a major surgery and had to be at a specialized hospital, or a major test that was going to alter their life depending on the results. I hope that you serve in a church that understands that supports that understands if you're gone all day because you're at a hospital in a neighboring town, or if you didn't come in that day because you spent the whole evening at a hospital at the neighboring town. And maybe they've got a church vehicle and you can drive it to get there. And if not, I hope they pay your gas. Just understand, ministry's going to happen 24/7, 365. And with your eyes wide open, when you see the needs of your people, I hope and I pray without hesitation, you take the call and you go and be with your people. I love you. See you next time.